In this lesson, we're going to talk about item codes, and the type item code we're going to discuss is the service code. This code is used when you set up labor within QuickBooks, and labor you can use to invoice your clients, and labor you could also have a subcontractor that you need to pay. So what I did was I created two for you just to show you how they flow through. I just did them identical. One is QuickBooks Support Direct. So this is if I had staff that would be doing QuickBooks consulting that I'm paying salary to, so I'm not tracking their individual hours to. Let me show you how I've mapped that. So I've named it something that I can find, and the description right here, that's what is going to show up on your invoice. And then I put the rate in, non-taxable, because labor is not taxable in our state, and then I mapped it to the appropriate income account that I want it to show up. And that's how I do that one. Then I set up the same exact thing just to show you for this example when I do a subcontractor. So when I set up the service item code, the type here, it's kind of hazy, but the type was service, and I put in the QB support subcontractor. I checked this box here. As you can see, it collapses. Now that looks like my original one, but I want to open this up because I've got people to pay, and I've got to pay them, a set amount. So I've just made it look the same so the customer really doesn't have a clue about the difference. They're still paying the $150, but I'm trying to track what I owe the vendor. Okay, so I've got these mapped. This is mapped the same as the other one, and then I mapped this to my cost of goods sold subcontractor account that I'd set up. So I have invoiced 10 hours for my subcontractor, and then I invoiced 10 hours for my direct labor support person. And I want to show you how different it looks. I dated one in January, the subcontractors in January, and as you can see, it's showing the income and then the expense side of that. So it's showing me the net profit on the subcontractor job. And then in the month of February, I did the same exact thing, but this was a direct invoice for my own support. And I don't have a cost to offset it, a direct cost like I do a subcontractor. So that's how it looks different for the way it's tracked. And I do want to show you this. So the other piece is, on top of the invoices that I've created, this is where I created the item code for the bill for my subcontractor, Sally. As you can see, there's two tabs on the bill, expenses and item, and I use that same item code, put in the 10 hours, I put the customer job. Let me go back to the P&L so you can see this. And so that's where that comes from, and I did not have an offset for my other pay. But these invoices look exactly the same, just the customer part just sees the QuickBooks Consulting, but I used a different item code. So in the background, I'm picking up that expense. And that's how you set up service code and showing you the flow. So obviously you want to customize this to work for your business, but these are the two options that you can use when you're setting up your labor and you're invoicing it to the client, and whether you have a bill or not to also go in those item codes.